Thanks very much, SK. And yeah, interesting about those early votes, because, you know, the amount of people that have voted early and those mail votes, there were about 80 million Americans that voted. So remember that what we're looking at is sort of results coming through in different states that are devoid of those mail votes. So as you heard from Ira, only at 7 a.m. in the morning of the vote counting can they start with those votes. So that's quite interesting. So they say it's a relatively seamless process in order to do it, but it is something that we need to factor into all of this. 80 million votes that were cast before the actual election day. All right, a couple of graphics that we've got for you. Let's just bring you up to speed with where we are at the moment in terms of the race, and that's what the race is looking like in terms of percentages. But please just remember that what you're seeing here is very early, and these are on those electoral votes. So what I can tell you is that there's that 270 sweet spot that we are looking at here, and at the moment you've got Kamala Harris, who's got 153 of those votes, and Donald Trump has got 214 of those votes, and those percentages are what you're looking at now. So Kamala Harris has just got a little bit bigger. There we go, 46.5%, just jumped up slightly percent of the votes, and Donald Trump 52% of the votes. So I mean, those are accounting to, and I can give them to you in numbers as well. Donald Trump 53.855 million votes on his side, and 48.231 million votes on Kamala's side. So that really gives you a great indication in terms of, you know, the votes and how important it is, how many electoral votes that each of the states have got. And those swing states, I mean, there may be one state that's called in and suddenly you'll see Kamala Harris hitting over 200 again. So that's kind of where we're at, and we're waiting for all of those to come through. But let's look at these candidates, because these candidates, of course, let me get to the edge there where Donald Trump is and tell you about him. I mean, I don't think we need to tell you much about Donald Trump, because he is probably one of the most famous guys that so many people know. But the bottom line is he's been in this position before. 2019, a complaint, however, was filed against Trump by a federal whistleblower, and he was impeached by the House of Representatives. In 2020, Senate acquitted him on both articles of impeachment, and here he is sitting with just a couple more of those electoral votes to once again move his goods into the White House and take over. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens if that in fact does eventually be the case, where Donald Trump comes in again as president of the US. But for something different, you've got Kamala Harris, and so many different voters coming out and voting, but voting for a lady president for the first time. But not only a lady president, one that of course is of an African descent, and this is something that we've never necessarily ever seen in the United States. She's been the deputy president or the vice president for a while, but she comes with a rich history of being the district attorney of San Francisco in 2004. She was a national leader in the movement for LGBTQ plus rights. She officiated the first same-sex wedding after a Proposition 8 was overturned as well. And women's rights is the one that she really has been pushing on here, particularly for women's bodies and their right to decide on how they want their bodies, particularly when it comes to pregnancy, to be handled. And that one has been her key that she's been pushing quite a lot. So those are just some of the things that the two candidates have been talking to, and that's what's either going to get them the votes or not. But as the minutes and seconds tick by, we're getting a clearer picture of which way this is going to go. We're going to stay with you here on the program until 9 o'clock with a lot more analysis and crossings to our different reporters in what is known as the swing states and those very highly contested states.